It's only been 2 minutes. So anyway, I go to sleep because I have to catch a flight in the morning. Then I wake up in like the middle of the night and check my phone at like 2:30 a.m. It's now registered with the distributor, so I can set up the account. And this is the sentence that I wrote at 2:30 a.m. So I wrote, Sawyer09 is a 22-year-old indie pop artist from Long Island, New York. Inspired by long drives to his engineer's house, Sawyer09 looks to capture the upbeat nostalgia of a suburban childhood. That's what I wrote at 2:30 a.m.
Okay. It was pretty good.
I was like, that's a solid pitch.
Yeah.
The upbeat nostalgia of a suburban childhood.
If I was in an elevator and you came up to me and you were like, sign me, and you told me that,
yeah,
I would for sure think about it.
That's not
that most genuinely American of all watercraft, the canoe.
Okay, yes. Guys, my new single, Chiara, is out everywhere. Released on Friday, September 3rd, whenever you're listening to this podcast, under my new name, Sawyer09, all capital letters.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 16 of Canoecast. I'm your host, Jack, with my buddy, Matt.
Yo.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. You know, actually, no, it's going fucking terribly. I'm lying to you.
Why
I
is
straight out lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
My EU trip got canceled, as you know.
Yeah.
So now I have to watch your comedy. You know, it's like I got stabbed once, and it's like this comedy just stabbed the second time.
Yeah. I'm excited that you're going to be there, but I hate that it's under these circumstances that you weren't able to go to Europe. So
It sucks, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if I have a staycation or if I go to Canada, where I'm an enemy of the state currently for the next 4 years.
What are your ideas for a staycation?
I have no fucking idea. Like, if I figure out what the fuck to do on Long Island, like wineries, planetarium.
I just went to a park where there's a mansion from a king from Albania. I think his name was like Roy or King Zog or something.
Yeah.
And he had an ancient temple in ruins. I think I sent a picture of it in the Snapchat group chat. Yeah. It was pretty dope.
It was covered in graffiti. It was like all ruins should be. 4
miles to get there and like come back because we got lost like twice.
Mm-hmm.
We had this app called All Trails. It shows like all the parks on Long Island, and you can like pick where you are, and it shows you like the way.
Does it was the trails too? Like, and I know Long Island trails are like, oh, there's like 2 ways, but like some of them have like 18 different trails.
This one had so many trails. It was like E7, F11. It was like almost like coordinates. It was really hard to understand, but
yeah.
There was a horse trail, there was a hiking trail, and it almost, I don't know. It was hard. It was hard to traverse, but we found the ruins. I wasn't sure if we were going to find them, but we did. So that was dope. Yeah, I would recommend that park. I don't know if we're going to go back for a little while just because it was pretty hard to traverse. Didn't get any ticks, which is good.
Nice.
Sprayed myself with some bug spray.
Yeah, on the ankles.
Oh, yeah, on the ankles.
So
around the
bad.
waist, dude. Sometimes I get them around the waist.
I want to try the tape thing where you put tape on your ankles.
Okay.
And the ticks get stuck to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's smart. It's like those trees with like the bugs that eat the trees. They put tape around them. You ever seen that? That's on Long Island, too.
Maybe.
Some kind of like Chinese beetle. We're getting too scientific. But,
the Chinese beetle.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks that your EU trip's canceled. So the staycation, you're going to figure out what to do on Long Island?
Yeah.
What do you... So you hike? You like hiking?
I do like hiking.
I could recommend a couple places. What about like shooting guns? You have a musket.
I do have a musket.
You could go out east and shoot some guns.
It is not a musket.
I thought it was a musket.
Disclose it is not a musket. No, it's like a M1 Garand or like a carbine. It's
okay.
Like 7 shots, yeah.
So do you have to like fill that up with gunpowder or what's the deal?
No. It's just like one of the old rifles where you
like the Call of Duty Zombies M1 Garand?
Yeah. Like it has like that little square thing where you put in 7 bullets and then you shove it into the top.
Oh
and
shit!
You cock it.
Word.
Yeah.
Can you make bullets?
I don't have the machines, the technology.
Okay.
You need like a special machine to close them.
I think this is
really.
Doesn't
take a lot of space though.
It doesn't take a lot of space.
Yeah.
Is it expensive? The machines.
Probably not. It's just like a press. It's
okay.
just like imagine like an espresso press.
Yeah. So could we Could we shoot your M1 Grand, or is it too far gone? Do you
It's
think
probably
that
too far. It'd probably backfire.
really?
Yeah, because of the rest in
That'd
the
be scary.
barrel. Yeah.
Oh shit! Can't clean that out. A little bit of Rust-Oleum.
DW40.
Yeah, man. Just put some
maybe.
WD-40 in that freaking barrel, and it won't shoot at you.
I feel like there's a few reasons why I shouldn't shoot this. One, I don't think I'm allowed to have it. I think it's like past the date. Well, if I make it an antique, I think I could have it. But other than that, no.
So is this something you're gonna pass down to your kids? The M1 Grand?
No.
No.
Probably not.
I think it's
gonna be,
pretty
so
cool.
decrepit.
You could like.
We weren't even supposed to have it. My grandpa just took all his guns from like World War II. Just took all of them.
You could like mount it on a wall. It'd be badass. Right,
Mhm.
right in the entrance to your house.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got an M1 Grand. Oh,
Right
fuck.
next to the sword made out of keys. Yeah, I'll put it right there.
Right next to the sword forged by a giant iron chain. You ever see
Yeah.
those videos?
Yes.
Those are. I watched those right before bed.
Dude, I was at a car wash once, and this guy in a truck, he came by with the giant chain in the back of his truck, and he's like, "If you could lift it, it's yours." And I knew the cost of like that giant. It's expensive. It's a lot of money. I fucking went into this random ass dude's truck, like the back pickup, picked it up. It was plastic, and I was so pissed.
Dang.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Not only are you luring kids into their truck, but you're lying to them. Which I
Jeez.
guess is what most pedophiles do. But still a dick move. Honestly.
Yeah, well, I got video games and a couple puppies in the back of my truck.
Free candy.
So this episode is special because we are interviewing our buddy, John
Yeah.
Sawyer09.
Single came out.
Just released a single.
Yeah.
Chiara.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked it. It got featured on a bunch of shit too.
it did. I saw his Instagram stories. He's on a
Mhm.
couple indie folk playlists now.
Mm-hmm.
Good for
Very
him.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fame.
He just flew back up from Virginia just to do this. To do this podcast.
Just for this.
Yeah, the 30 subscribers that listen to this, you guys are real lucky.
We have 30?
a real. Yeah, we just hit 30. Big milestone. Congratulations.
Dang.
Clap it up.
I honestly thought we'd stay at 4 forever. And we just delete the channel. But
Yeah, we're at 30, so it's a big congratulations to us. We're slowly but surely growing. Yeah, very slow.
Like a tumor, slow but steady.
Yeah, soon we'll be stage 4.
So it's
All right. Thanks for listening to us, and we'll get right into the interview with John.
It already feels like I'm on the podcast. I hear you guys' voices, and it's like, great.
excellent. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
How's it going, John?
This is my first podcast appearance.
What, you made one?
You're never released.
That's
So
Where's your podcast? We've heard murmurs.
I know it's in the works. You know,
Okay.
it's stowed away behind some old dusty lamps.
You can throw names out there for blame.
No, it may never come out, to be honest.
Maybe for the better?
It's definitely possible. Podcasts are very stressful. I don't like the feeling that things that I'm saying are being like put on record, you know?
I feel like I don't know, maybe not Matt, but I definitely like hold myself back sometimes.
I've burned a few bridges. It's over.
Sure. I mean, at least it's not live. You could always cut something out, right?
Yeah,
if you make
yeah,
a mistake,
for
like,
sure.
say a slur on accident or something like that.
We definitely never do that.
Yep.
so-
We never say last names.
That's also why it's not visual, because then I'd have to like blur the face when we say all of our
Sure,
slurs.
like American Idol, they used to blur out the middle fingers
Yeah,
with the American Idol logo and
What?
like bounce around on screen. You ever saw that?
No.
They
That's
freak
amazing, though.
out. Yeah, they
That's
freak out.
Yeah, it's really
Holy
funny. So,
So how's it going?
pretty good. Can't complain. Just came back off of a bit of a weekend excursion.
Yeah, you went to a spike ball tournament?
Yes, in Richmond, Virginia. We got there on Friday morning, and then we just like biked around the city. Then Saturday we played in the actual tournament. How the tournament is set up is there's like basically right at the start in the morning at like 9 a.m. you begin pool play for seeding. So you get put in a group and then you play like 6 or 7 games. Then you get seeded based on obviously wins or losses and then scores as well. So it's like if you go 0-6, but they're all close games, you'll get seeded higher than somebody that went 0-6 and got blown out for all 6 games.
Okay.
We got off to a horrible start. Like, you know when commentators on UFC are like, the lights are too bright tonight, Jim? Like, that's how we felt. It was absolutely terrifying. People had matching jerseys. It was like very scary.
Did you guys at least have like the same color shirts on?
No coordination at all. We kept it very low key, but we pretty much put up 8 to 15 for every single game, pretty much. I think our worst game we put up like 5 to 15 or something brutal. We made it through. We were playing all day, obviously, and then there's like a short break for the bracket formation. So everyone gets seated, and then they form the bracket. I've never heard that in the podcast before. Your EQing
it doesn't pick up.
Your EQ must be really good. It's probably going to be on mine.
That's fine.
What was I saying? So there's a short break between the group play and the seeding of the bracket. And during that time, we decided to play pickup against these guys because it's just like 300 dudes, like just around in this giant field, right?
Was it like mixed singles or
there's
like doubles?
There's a bunch of divisions, so it has to be doubles because there's 2 people on a team, and then there's an how is it split up? So there's like an intermediate division was the lowest one, which is what we were playing in. Then it was advanced. Then it was women's advanced, then contender, premier, and pro.
Did you meet any pros?
No, they were gated away on a separate side of the field.
Oh, there's actually pro spike ball players?
Yeah, and they have like they had like a Twitch stream and everything, and it was a whole thing.
Dang. You guys weren't on that?
We were not. For the better of everybody, really. But in between the group stage and the bracket stage, we're like, let's go play pickup with these guys because we haven't won a match yet. So before they start to really count, let's try to get a little more warm up going. So we played against these guys that were super good, and we were playing for like 45 minutes. This is after like 6 games of play. So I am gassed. And by the way, we're in this random city of Richmond, Virginia. So we just woke up and I had like oatmeal, and then we went. And so now it's like 12 noon and we woke up at like 7:30. So I've been exercising nonstop for hours on just oatmeal. And the sun, it's like we're approaching noon. It's like peak sun. The sun's coming out. It's getting really hot. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm feeling too hot right now. And so I'm kind of like, we have like 15 minutes till the actual bracket starts. And so I'm like, yo, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm just going to take a breather and then I'll be rejuvenated. And listen, man, I can't tell you what happened in that bathroom. I don't know myself, but I fought off my demons and we got back out there. And then we played our first bracket match, which then it becomes a series, best of 3 games to 21. And then you max out at 27, I think. So it's like win by 2 until you get there. And that's just versus 27. So you can't deuce for like 4 hours. And we 2-0'd our first bracket match. So that definitely felt good after a morning of losing to everybody. We 2-0'd our first bracket match, and then we went up against the 4 seed in our next series. And then after the first game, I just totally gave up. And then we just had like a full-on conversation with the guys, and then we basically just like let them win because I was happy with our first bracket. And then I was like, we're not going to beat the 4 seed of this tournament. And they were super nice guys, and we were just like kicked in. He was like, yo, we'll tell them that we went to 3 games. And we were like, yo, respect, dude. Because we were just having fun. And then they went on to win the tournament. So that was definitely feels good.
So did you guys like get kicked out of the tournament after playing the 4 seed, or was there a loser? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you get out in the first round of the bracket, there's like a consolation bracket or consolation match. But we didn't get that because we moved on. So.
Okay.
We got placed in a very difficult group, though. Like, most of the teams that were in our group stage, like, all went on to semis or quarters. So
dang.
It was a brutal morning. We definitely went through some trials and tribulations, I'll tell you that much. So. But happy to have done it, and honestly may do it again.
Whose idea was it to go down?
So Caleb and I don't even own a spike ball net, funny enough. Yeah, we actually, neither of us own a set. But we played a lot at graduation parties and stuff like that, and we'd kind of run the net for the day. You know what I mean? Like winner stays, we'd crush it, and we'd feel really good about ourselves. But we had to, we're like, this is not the cream of the crop we're up against here. We're two like minorly athletic dudes. We're just like doing well. We're like, we have to play against real people, you know? And so I just looked up the closest spike ball tournament because it's like a sanctioned sport. They have like an organization. And the closest one was in Richmond, Virginia. So I said, are you down? And he said, I'm so down. So we flew out there, got an Airbnb, and then had a whole weekend.
That sounds nice.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
The pizza there wasn't too bad either.
Cool. Oh, no. I feel like pizza's hit or miss.
Yeah, out of New York State.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really hip joint called Pizza Bones.
Pizza Bones?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which we started calling Pizza Boner, obviously. And then, you know, it devolved into, you know, if you want pizza, you have a Pizza Boner. You know what I mean? Well,
we're human.
I like it.
I don't know if the listeners will appreciate that.
Might use that for my stand-up material.
Oh, yeah?
True. Stand-up dates.
Yeah, stand-up dates. We'll just do a little plug right here.
Stop saying dates. It's dates.
Yeah, it's
stand-up
one date.
dates.
It's one date.
Stand-up date.
September 10th, 10:30, Belmore
This week?
Comedy Club. This week, Friday. It's happening. It's live.
Yeah.
What time is it?
10:30 p.m.
I think I can make it.
Let's
I
go.
have a rehearsal until 10:30 p.m. But assuming you're not like the
I'm
first
probably
guy
not
on
gonna be
stage
first.
in the first second.
Yeah.
Where is it again?
There's gonna be like an opener. It's in Belmore, or yeah, I think it's like Merrick
Put the
Road in Belmore.
Pedal to the metal
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I have 6 tickets. They're all already bought up, but I think a couple of people in the group are getting them. So maybe you guys do it together.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
I'll
What, are
stall.
you you're saying they're gonna turn me away or what?
No.
I'll give them whatever they want.
All right.
When I get
Oh, it's
there.
like $10, I think.
I don't care. I'll give them whatever, man. You guys came to my Shakespeare festival.
That was
That
cool.
was
I think a
good.
little night of comedy is a fair trade.
We got lost, so we were a touch
Right.
late, but
I know I was on stage when you entered
Yes.
the space, actually.
and you were in like the wrestling scene, which
Yeah.
I actually saw that was advertised on the Instagram.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Yeah.
cool. But we freaking almost missed it.
That's fine.
That was good. That was a good night. I liked it. I like how they kept in character while they were walking away too. Like an open venue, they just kept in character while they were walking by.
Yeah,
all
it
the
is
viewers.
hard. You can't just be like, done, because there's still like 80 million people staring at you. So.
Yeah.
So you like turned on the whole time, like for the 2-3 hours that you're there.
Pretty much. I mean, once you get out of sight, you know,
Mhm.
that's when you could like take a pee or something. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't pee as your character
I
Orlando.
don't. No,
You're
no,
not
I
like,
don't. No.
What?
to pee or not to pee when you're like on the
That's
fucking urinal.
good. This guy's a comedian. To pee or not to pee?
We'll see. We'll find out this Friday if he's a comedian.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
not up
want to
to
get
us.
as long as I'm not booed off stage.
Did you have people over yesterday?
No one wanted to come over. We played Void Cup. If you want to skip this next minute, we're going to be a little bit nerdy, but we played League for like 2.5 hours and we won the cup
Yeah.
again.
Oh, there's Clash?
yeah,
last
there was a
night?
clash last night, yeah.
Oh, damn. Who played?
Everybody but Matt
Yeah, not me.
and
Atacon.
Caljoya, so.
Atacon
Oh.
plays.
I was
He's
gonna
the
say-
3-time loser.
I know. I was literally about to be like, no.
Let's call him out on the podcast.
No, he will never hear this, so I
Yeah.
definitely root for Cole to lose at Clash 100% of the time. He's just, you know.
That's
Man.
fine.
Yeah,
So
I
you
don't
played
know.
AD.
Yeah.
Ray played top. Who played jungle?
Gons.
Yeah.
Okay, Gons played jungle.
Yeah. And Atacon was support. And we
What
got
champ did he
pocket
play?
pick Swain last game, and he almost fed really hard, but you know,
What did he play the first two games?
Thresh. So
The old pocket pick.
yeah,
Okay, sweet.
it was good. It was
and
fun.
then Letty played mid.
Yeah, he's good. He always carries.
Of
Yeah.
course.
The class.
That's how we won. Basically, we had Tom carrying us and Ray carrying us.
They call him the Duke, for reasons.
The what?
The Duke.
The Duke.
Yeah, that's why they call him the Duke. He's always winning. But let's get back to Zon, our guest.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your single, my man.
Okay, yes. Guys, my new single, Chiara, is out everywhere. Released on Friday, September 3rd, whenever you're listening to this podcast, under my new name, Sawyer09, all capital letters.
Is that his new
So-
name? I felt like we knew that for a while.
Yeah, you were changing it for a while. Was that when you were trying to find yourself, like your artist?
I don't know. I went through a weird period where I changed my Instagram name like every 3 seconds.
Yeah, we noticed
so-
because we kept trying to plug you.
I know, I remember,
Instagram.
because I made the intro. Guys, if you
Yeah,
listen to the
thanks.
intro,
We're
that's
actually
me.
able to thank you
That
in
was
person now for making the intro.
You're welcome, guys.
Guys, I didn't feel it before, but I'm really feeling 09. 08 wasn't.
No.
I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah,
Didn't
someone
connect to
was
me on
like,
the
why
soul.
09? I was like, it's a really good year. And they were like, oh.
Word. Can't beat 09.
I also just kind of wanted it to look like an Xbox gamer tag or like a username. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be very...
What was your first Xbox gamer tag?
Capital Barbecue.
Capital
It was just one of the auto-generated. You know how on Xbox you could
Yeah.
just choose the random ones,
And then you get to
like
make your own
Armored
after?
Almond or like whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
It was Capital Barbecue,
Mhm.
and then eventually I changed it to Mountain Dew Dude 13.
Wow.
Nice.
So
It's cool. Respect.
You're gonna have to copyright that soon. It's a,
I don't think
it's a
so.
hot name.
It could have been a
I
good.
feel like we played Xbox back in the day, did we?
We probably did. I think we probably played with my brother and I. We played a lot of Modern Warfare 2. Guitar Hero 2299 first. Because
Really?
I was a grinder at Guitar Hero. I'd play so much. I could play like behind the back and everything. I was the best. And my brother would get so pissed. He'd be like, I fucking hate Guitar Hero. I'm not that good. And then
Classic.
we changed our name to iTurtle Pro.
That's okay. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I evolved to Archaeological.
Yeah.
And it's like the hardest thing to like say.
He says
I actually
that
like it. I
he
like
only changed because
archaeological.
his account got banned. on
Yeah,
iTunes
my
Pro.
account on League got banned, so I had to make a new alias.
I'm right there with you.
Acting on high. I changed it now.
I also had an account get banned. So
It's so fucking hard, man, not to play not to get banned.
I mean, I didn't even. I mean, we don't have to get into all that, but
Bring you
this
back
is
to
so we've cut out everything. We're right back in on
first
Who
crushes.
was your first crush?
Who's your
Matt?
first crush?
Also, I had to get used to calling you. I never call you Matt.
What do you call me?
I just call you by your last name.
Oh yeah, fuck. Don't do that. Don't do that. But
Call you by your
yeah,
last name.
my first crush was. I feel like I've talked to people about this, but she was my crush for like such a fucking long time. It was she went to East Side at first. It was.
Oh,
Kind of a size difference there.
I
Not
know-
gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure not at the time.
yeah. Back in the day.
Hey man, even still, whatever. I'll take what I could get.
Yeah, short kings, man. All my buddies are short kings.
Yeah.
I'm the tallest one in the friend group.
She carries me in the wedding, they're throwing rice. I'm in her arms.
So it's like the
Make sure-
Jewish wedding.
Let's
or-
make sure not to burp into the microphone. That would be a bit
Matt
off-putting.
burps directly into the
I
microphone.
do.
Do you cut those
so
out?
feel
Do
free.
you listen to
I
those?
try, but sometimes I miss them.
Kind of scrub through them.
It's funny.
Yeah,
It's
hard.
funny.
It's hard to get every
I
single
feel like
thing.
it's not too notable. I don't remember you burping a lot.
I'm the silent burper. Not that it's silent, but you just don't remember it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. I think my first crush was like in like
I don't even know what that is.
kindergarten or
Wait.
like first grade.
She's my neighbor.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
your neighbor. She went to
yeah,
Timber
yeah.
Point with me, and I was like, damn, she's fine.
Dude,
I
In
don't
like
think
in
you
like
said
kindergarten
that
and
in
first grade.
elementary school.
Dude.
Nah, I definitely didn't
I don't
say
think
it
you
like
said,
that,
"Damn,
but
she's
damn,
fine."
she's fine.
I think at one point, she had a crush on me because she fell off a scooter and I was an EMT at the time, so I treated her and stuff. And then she kept inviting me over to her house when we were hanging out.
Dang.
And it was so funny. So one time, it was her brother's birthday, right? And she invited me into the house for his birthday. It's just me and her parents and her brother. And I'm just sitting there uncomfortably eating cake for a girl who invited me to somebody else's birthday.
What kind of cake was it?
I think it was vanilla.
worth it.
No.
No, all right.
No.
I almost
mean-
had that once. I was cock blocked by my mom.
Really?
Yeah. From so I was in like middle school, I think at the time, and my brother was in like 5th grade, and he was invited to the middle. Do you know? Do you know
No.
anybody?
I do. Not from around here. though.
So
I live on the other side of
I
town.
know. So they're on like the country village side. Maybe you just only
Yeah.
know the Islip Terrace, the Dirty Terrace people.
Certainly.
The Dirty
So
Terrace.
yeah, they were in East Islip, and my brother was invited to the younger sister's like birthday.
Uh-huh.
Goes in the backyard. I wasn't dressed for her birthday, but then the older sister was like, "Hey, is Jack like coming over too?"
Yeah.
And then my mom comes into the car, and then she tells me that, and then I'm like, "What the fuck? Why am I not going to this birthday now?" Like this girl literally just asked if I
Wow,
was
that's such
going.
an L.
I know. So she just cock blocked me back
They
in
really
like
be the
6th grade.
moms,
I
huh?
know, I really do.
He still holds it to her this day.
I do. No, it just like came to me there when you were talking about going to a birthday party for some chick. So
It was her brother.
I'm like, yeah,
That's so awkward.
Sure.
throwback to awkward childhood memories.
It's funny. It's like they
Yeah,
don't
those
think
are
it's
the best.
awkward, but it
really
is.
love revisiting those.
So speaking of awkward childhood memories, was any of that inspiration for your new single, Chiara?
Certainly was, man.
Okay, I kind of
Ooh.
felt that.
Yeah. I've always all the music listen, I'm only 22. my life experiences are a bit limited, and the ones I feel are most impactful happen to have occurred when I was a child, right? So, and nostalgia and everything is very interesting, the kind of rose-colored view of your upbringing, Dude, actually, wait, this is a really funny note. So the other night, I released the single, right, on Friday night, but it's a new artist profile. So I submitted to the distributor like months ago. So I'm not worried about it being on streaming, but rather I have to claim the accounts on like Apple Music and Spotify and stuff like that. But I can't do that until the music is live. So I get home from rehearsal. I'm like waiting for it to be midnight. And then it happens. So then I go on there. I go through Spotify. I get all the information in. They're like, okay, cool. We'll get back to you in like 3 days. And so I'm like, no, like people are going to go there. And obviously the song's still there and stuff, but they need to see my face and like all this stuff. And so I ended up trying to go through the distributor. They're like, we don't see the music. I'm like, but it's up there. It's only been 2 minutes. So anyway, I go to sleep because I have to catch a flight in the morning. Then I wake up in like the middle of the night and check my phone at like 2:30 a.m. It's now registered with the distributor, so I can set up the account. And this is the sentence that I wrote at 2:30 a.m. So I wrote, Sawyer09 is a 22-year-old indie pop artist from Long Island, New York. Inspired by long drives to his engineer's house, Sawyer09 looks to capture the upbeat nostalgia of a suburban childhood. That's what I wrote at 2:30 a.m.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
I was like, that's a solid pitch.
Yeah.
The upbeat nostalgia of a suburban childhood.
If I was in an elevator and you came up to me and you were like, sign me, and you told me that,
Yeah.
I would for sure think about it.
Without hearing any of the music, I would give it a consideration.
Yeah.
As a man who works at an architecture firm, I would strongly consider.
Sure. So that's kind of the idea, I guess.
Wait, so you had to fill it out after releasing your song?
Yeah. So basically, you just submit the artwork, the artist name, and then the actual, MP3 or a WAV file.
Okay.
Then the distributor obviously has to cross-check it, make sure, you're not just uploading a Tyler, the Creator song under your own name or something. Check the artwork, get all that stuff out. You pay them, obviously, and then they get it to, because SoundCloud's like the only one where you can just upload anything you want at any time of the day. For Spotify and Apple Music and Deezer and, all that stuff, you have to go through a distributor.
So is the distributor like a label, or are you like under something, or
There's
was it just you and your voice?
There's a lot of independent distributors like DistroKid, CD Baby. Those are the only two I can think of right now. But
Are those the ones that you're through, or?
yeah, I think I actually just switched over to DistroKid recently because
Is it like a subscription type deal, or you just got to pay them when you need them?
DistroKid is, CD Baby is not. But DistroKid lets me upload lyrics to Instagram. That's why I switched. You know
Okay.
when you post on the story
Yeah.
with a song and the lyrics scroll past?
Mhm.
Yeah.
DistroKid lets you do that.
That's a trendy thing, so I think that's good.
And
switch.
DistroKid also lets you select the preview portion of the song that's on TikTok. So like
Ooh.
when you go to a song on TikTok and it's 15 seconds pops up, DistroKid allows you to select what 15 seconds of the song.
So it is on TikTok.
I haven't checked, but
You
I
haven't
assume,
checked?
I assume
Okay.
it is.
Wait, that's
Cool.
sick.
I assume so. I have to. Well, I released the song on Friday, and then I went on like a weekend long trip. So there's a lot of bases I still have yet to cover.
You haven't been like reaching out to any girls with a lot of following
Not a ton
from Long
yet.
Island.
Not a ton yet. I
Like,
will.
hey, do a
I'm working
dance
on
with
it.
my song in the background.
I know. We're on a few Spotify playlists and stuff. And
I
we
saw
released-
that, those
we released-
reposts.
Yeah. And then we have like 2 blogs covering the song, but the
2 blogs?
The posts aren't out yet.
Do they reach out to you, or do you?
I reached out to them.
Okay.
It's actually his blogs. He owns both of them.
Dude, that's actually a move. Like Odd Future and like they all did that like 10, 12 years ago. They just like
Made their own blog.
pretended like they had press by making their own. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like in a very backwards way.
Hey man, if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
system doesn't work, but if it works, it works.
The internet, man.
So, where do you like find like the passion for making music? Like how did it start?
The That's a great question. I'll say this. I only started listening to music in like senior year of high school. I'm a theater kid. I went to school for theater. So anything I ever listened to was either on the radio or is like a cast recording of a Broadway show. And so senior year of high school, I have a smartphone and the internet, I guess. I just started like ripping songs illegally because this is like, Spotify existed, but it wasn't like, yo, send me your Spotify playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like when Spotify was just rocketing in popularity.
Yeah.
So I was just downloading, and I had like an LG G3 or something like that. So I was just downloading like albums illegally off the internet. And then I started listening to, I think the artist I listened to the most was Fetty Wap, but it's 2016, so naturally.
Yeah.
And then I started working, like my first job, my junior year of high school, and then I, started meeting a ton of new people because you're just stuck in high school, and then you work a job, and there's a bunch of other people, and everyone I was working with was talking about Chance the Rapper's third project that was coming out.
Oh,
Was that the coloring book?
Which was Coloring
Okay.
Book. And so I was like, I guess I'll have to check it out. And then my mind exploded, and then I like figured out who Chance was, and then figured out who Kanye was, and figured out who Jay-Z was, and then got a Spotify account, and then just started, listening to everything. So
Okay.
that's kind of where it went. And then I was like, I want to do this. And then I just got to college, and then just jumped on my like open forum college Facebook page, and then was like, who's making music? And kind of started my way up. I made like a ton of horrible songs, but I put them all out, and I'd say I'm just going on a huge tangent, but I think that the thing is, when you want to start making things, like what you want to make, like you have taste and you know what you like, but you don't have the skills or the abilities or the creativity to make that, right? So there's this period of time that you have to get over where you really want to make things, but the things you're making are utter garbage and they're trash, but that can't discourage you. And I feel like that's where a lot of people stop. Is they're like, I love Kanye West for like XYZ reasons. I want to make music. And then when it doesn't sound like Kanye, you're like, well, I guess I just suck at this. And you stop. So
that's like another question I had. So like you are like influenced by rap and like pop culture,
Sure.
it sounds, but
Sure.
like your sound is indie folk.
yeah, I started making that transition. So I started making rap music in college, actually. It was pretty bad. But then I transferred to making like live band hip hop music, like in the style of like, Mac Miller, like Anderson .Paak, like that
Mac
whole
Miller.
wave of like Tiny Desk concerts and
Those are great.
and that stuff. And so, the college that I went to, Purchase College, we have like a really great jazz conservatory. And so I just started collaborating with musicians at college. And then that's when I really got into music. I started listening to people like Maggie Rogers and Mac DeMarco, and even
I know
like
Mac DeMarco, he's great.
I have
even
no
like
idea who
George,
these are.
even like George Ezra, and like some of the more straightforward like Jack Johnson, people like that. And I was like, whoa, like, okay, songs are kind of sick too. 'Cause I, for a while, as like a young 17, 18, 19-year-old, I was like, rap is the only thing. Like, don't listen to all that other stuff. I was kind of wrong about it, but
Yeah, Mac DeMarco is like awesome. I
Yeah.
listened to him all throughout college.
yeah, Mac DeMarco is super sick.
I have
And
no
so,
idea who he
oh,
is.
wait,
You should listen to him.
Even
Yeah.
like Casey Musgraves, when she won the Grammy in 2018 or 19 or something like that. So then I was like, trying to, because it's really hard to write like melodic and like harmonic music with like melodies and
What does melodic mean?
stuff like that. Well, like rapping, it's
Oh,
just like,
oh,
and
melodic,
then,
okay.
melodic's like, that's like a
I was
melody.
like, I was spelling it in my head. I'm like MALOTIC, but it's melodic, like melody.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot. Don't worry.
No, it's all good. No worries. So I don't really remember what the original question was, but
it was like you listen to rap, pop culture
yeah,
is like your influences, but you're a folk.
yeah, yeah.
sound.
There's a lot of people I really like.
Does it go back to like what you just said, that you make things when you originally had the idea that you wanted to make rap, but you can't make rap, so you make something that you like? It's more like suited to your style or your voice.
I think maybe that's the case. I'm just trying to do whatever I find most fulfilling at the time.
Okay.
Right. And so I don't necessarily know, like, who can say why the things inspire you, right? I guess you can say what you like about them, but really you don't totally know, like, at the root of your consciousness. This is like way too deep. But like, you see a painting that moves you and you can say like what you like about it, but you don't necessarily know why things.
Nobody knows where the revelation came from.
Yeah, push you in what direction. So I will say there's an album that came out in May of this year by this artist named Dodie Clark. She's like, was on YouTube. She's been on YouTube for like 10 years or whatever, but it was her debut studio album called Building a Problem. And it's kind of like this similar style of, you know, this intersection of like pop music and indie and folk. So that was like a huge inspiration. I just drove like an hour and a half out east to my homie's house and just listened to that album cover to cover. I was like driving through like vineyards and stuff, and I was like, I think this is what I want to make.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Might give it a listen. That sounds cool.
It's a really great album. I like it a lot. It's like super cool because she's a really great songwriter, and the vocals and the lyrics are like a super intimate experience, but it's this super dense, like almost pop like production. It's hard to describe, but I come back to it a lot. It's really great.
Cool.
So if you're into that kind of thing, I would say give it a listen.
I'll listen to it. You know,
if not, Certified Lover Boy just came out, so could listen to that.
Wait, what do you think? What do you think about those Certified Lover Boy and Donda? You got an opinion?
I have some very strong opinions.
Because you're a Drake stan. You're known for that.
I am a Drake stan. Okay, we'll talk about Donda first. Donda.
Oh no.
Is kind of unpalatably pretentious, in my opinion. The songs are very long and repetitive in a way that's not interesting. To me, these are all my opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the cover art's just a black square, which, like, has been done before. Like, Kendrick did it, the Beatles did it, like, 300 years ago. I just don't know how you go from having Takashi Murakami do your third studio album cover art to just a black square. It all feels very pretentious. It feels like someone pretending to be Kanye, to be honest. Also, we can't ignore the fact that he is quite literally just mentally ill. And, you know, but you're, like, that rich and that influential. Like, no one can tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think that the mental illness develops the richer you get? Some people can't handle the fame.
Who's to say, man? I think he has like a real clinical issue.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
Will never go properly addressed.
I mean, is it a mental illness if it's not even like fixing? Like, you are so powerful that anything you want and could be done is like done. You know?
Yeah. I'm sure there are a lot of reasons, but Kanye has records where he says I am a god, right?
Yeah.
But then those records and those themes are like in conversation with what it means to be a celebrity, like egos and hip hop, like the culture and stuff. This album just feels like way too pretentious to me.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it.
I haven't listened to it yet. I don't know if I want to. Everybody's like, oh yeah, this is like, I go on social media and it's like one person be like, oh yeah, it's good. And then like 19 other people be like, yeah, this was trash. It's like, I wasted my time, like valuable time gone. And it's like, well, I guess I'm not going to listen
It's as long as a movie. So you really got to put really a lot of time into listening to the whole thing. Like, I probably listened to it over like 2 sessions just because you can't listen to like almost 2.5. Isn't it like 2 hours and like 17? Something ridiculous.
It's an hour and 48 minutes or something.
I thought it was over 2 just because it feels so long.
I don't think it's over 2.
How many songs of the album were even good?
Title. One sec.
How many songs were good? I mean, it depends on your taste in music.
Yeah, difficult
I would
question.
say.
I don't have.
In my opinion, my taste in music, 8 of the songs I could tolerate. A lot of them, I kind of agree. They're just too repetitive. There's not much depth to the song. And
repetitiveness in music is not inherently a bad thing. There's just a way to do it that's
when you say Donda, like you can't listen to that. That's the one thing.
I'm not as mad about that as some other people. It's like conceptual, and it is the first track of the album, which is like for the purpose of like a concept. I'm okay with the first track of the album being thrown away.
But I mean, he's used repetitiveness in other songs. Like, look at Flashing Lights. Like, Great song.
True.
Yeah, repetitiveness the entire time, yeah. And it's great. It's phenomenal.
Donda is 1 hour and 48 minutes. Wow.
You were spot on.
All right, so if Kanye was listening to this, do you think he could kill us? I think he could probably hire people to kill us easily.
I think Kanye has enough money and power to kill anyone
Anyone?
on planet Earth.
What about somebody who has?
I don't want to speculate.
What
I'm
about
not
somebody
sure.
who has more money? You know, like their system's more defense. Like,
I don't know. You give a mentally ill person a lot of money, anything can happen.
well, I'm asking for like our own well-being after destroying his new album.
I will say, I do think Certified Lover Boy and Donda are both respectively one of their worst albums of all time.
Yes.
But that still makes it a better album than like what most people are releasing, right? Like the worst Kanye album is still like pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
But still, I think his older stuff is better. Like, that might be a hot take.
I don't think that's like a polarizing opinion necessarily.
Do we live in the past though? Like we romanticize his old albums? Is that like another like Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty? Like
Well, I think
I
you
mean,
could.
Super Mario Sunshine is the best video game.
I love Super Mario.
I think you
Sunshine.
can enjoy something that's old that was like groundbreaking without realizing that it's just like not fantasizing about the past, though.
I guess music changes too. The whole
Yeah.
like industry's been changing. So come on, Matt. You got anything else?
Got anything else? I mean, all right. So one of my favorite lines in it was I'm gonna probably botch it because I don't know word for word, but
No, that's fine.
yeah. So
I'm sure I'll
my
know
friends
which one it
talk like me, and I see that for the unseeable future. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that's basically what I say.
Yeah.
The whole concept of the verses was kind of like, well, I wrote it about this time of like going away to college and, you know, the retrospect of looking back at your college experience and where you're from and how that influences you. Because you don't really, I mean, again, I'm only 22, so it's hard to speak with so much wisdom, right? But, you know, when you think about what, you know, your goals were and what your priorities were and who your friends were and stuff when you were only 16, 17, that's where it kind of came from. So the verses are like, yeah, verbatim I say, my friends, they talk just like me. Will it ever change? That's unlikely. So that's the concept of the verses, kind of.
I like that. Cool teen, because you did talk about like when you were in a friend group as a teen, you all talked the same way.
Yeah, that's true. You all have the same slang and, you know, the same
Come
way
up with
of
cool lingo.
colloquialisms.
I
and
feel like
stuff
that's not going to change throughout life. That's why I like that verse so much, because your group will continue to speak in different ways from other groups, and then you'll just slowly gravitate towards that throughout life.
And then one day we'll just start like growling at each other and know what's going on.
Yeah. But I mean, even like, you know, we all say certain things on like the Discord or whatever that are just would make absolutely no sense.
And they're all inside jokes, but we laugh at it.
I don't know how Goon could possibly hold a normal conversation. Like two
I
sentences.
don't know if he has.
2 sentences and he like
the bar?
references a meme, dude. I don't know.
I don't know if he has. So
It's like he's ordering a drink. He's like, money, guys, money, guys.
yeah, money.
I love him though. I love him to death.
So what's your like how do you write? Do you have like a list of like lyrics first and then you sort of just
I don't really. I'd say it all comes about in like different ways. So sometimes I'd say it mostly goes music first, lyrics second, because that's just what I find most difficult is like writing actual music on like actual instruments.
are there different versions of Chiara that we haven't heard yet?
There's like 100 versions.
Really?
Actually, this is the first time I can say that. Everything else is pretty much like first idea from beginning to end,
Mhm.
complete it, put it out. But this is one we started working on it in like February of this year.
Wow.
Really?
And then so there's a bunch of different versions because we were pretty much me and my friend Keaton Komisky. He is like my engineer and like, you know, he records and mixes like pretty much everything I do or everything I have done. And we would just hang out for like hours listening to, you know, different songs by different artists and talk about like what we find most interesting about them. And so for a while it was like, oh, do we want it to be like a super stripped down, like, you know, like early Casey Musgraves tune like that, like an acoustic type thing? Or do we want it to be like a straightforward like pop radio banger or somewhere in between? And so there's like quite a few different versions with a lot of different sonic elements. Like there's one with like snaps and claps and like all this like
Like a trap sound?
no, like almost like a grassroots
Grass.
type of, is that a word to describe music? Bluegrass? kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
sound?
bluegrass,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, but there actually is like a bunch of different versions.
I want to hear the pop radio version.
The
It's
pop
somewhere-
punk version?
It's somewhere there.
Good
No,
for you!
there's no
Chiara!
yeah, yeah, there's no mood beeps. There's no pop punk version.
Yeah.
So now, when you make it, do you make, because this has always intrigued me, because I know most people do like beat and then lyrics, but I feel like some people have also done like base the song that they want to write off lyrics they want, and then
Sure.
do a beat after that. So which
Sure.
like process do you do?
It's pretty much always music and then lyrics,
Okay.
or it'll be like a hook and then I'll have to write a verse or something, But the lyrics, this was actually a totally different song first, with like all different words, and then we recorded it, and then I was like, once we started working on all the production elements, I was like, this is really fire, but I hate everything I wrote. So then I rewrote the whole song, actually. This is cool. This sounds slightly pretentious, but it's just kind of like a one case. I don't know. Normally that doesn't happen, but I did that.
So you scrapped the whole thing when you were like almost
I was
done?
like just export the track to me with no vocal on it. I'm just gonna rewrite the song. So that's what I did. It went through many iterations, a lot of different versions, but I'm happy with the one we released. So I guess that means it was worth it to some
Did you
extent.
come down to like a top 3, or was it like what's your
It was just kind of like, take these elements out, put these in. Oh, put that one back, take this out. And then I have a friend, Jack Redsecker, who came out here, and, I kind of had him put the sauce on it. You know what I mean? I brought him in, and we played him the track, and he was just like, move from instrument to instrument. It was like, oh, this, that.
We have a lot of last names to bleep.
He's
That's
a
one.
smart dude. I mean, you can leave him in because give
him the
because it's
Wow.
good. It's good press.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm so used to bleeping.
I know we're in a
every
different
last
universe.
name.
I'm not worried about being doxxed. I mean, don't put my address in here. But
Well, we'll cut the first cusses. That random conversation we had for some reason. We'll cut that.
sure.
So talk about like the video. What inspired the video? Because that video is sick.
It is pretty.
Thank
good,
you.
yeah.
I am super proud of the video. My two homies, Joshua Ben Dillon and Dalton Herod, did the video with me. And all my videos in the past have been with the same people. And what I kept saying when I was talking to Josh, because I kind of conceptualized it before we did it.
Are these all friends from college?
Yes.
Okay. And they were all on the island first, or did they like come down to hang out with you and
They're from
everywhere?
the greater New York
Okay.
area.
Like, north of.
Well, city or north
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
out east.
Close- close by enough.
they're around.
Okay.
So I was having phone calls with Josh, and what I kept saying was I want the music video to look like a Nick at Night promotional like commercial, because we were talking about, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get like a ton of fireworks, and like like the commercial, it'd be like a Degrassi promo, and then it would be like a, what's the right word for that? In music it's called a sting, but in a commercial, like the Adult Swim like ads, there's a word for
Yes,
that.
all the ones like that are on Instagram now, where they just like mow the lawn and it has
Yeah.
that beat, and it's the Adult
There's a
Swim
word
logo.
for that. Oh, wait, I have to look this up.
Can't help you there.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a big commercial guy, so.
That came up in conversation though recently. The Adult Swim ads.
No, it's a
Why?
thing. Commercial.
Me and my so I listened.
I wasn't
to
allowed to watch Adult Swim when I was a kid.
Are you
So.
Oh, me
kidding
neither.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so you don't even
It's called a bump.
you don't even know about Toonami then?
Yeah. Like you know when you'd be watching a show, and then it would go through all the commercials, and then like the channel or whatever has like a little thing, like you're watching The Big Bang Theory or something, and it's like commercials, and it's like CBS, blah blah blah, blah, and then the show comes back on.
Yeah.
Well, at Nick at Night, it would always be like, like a pool party or like fireworks in slow mo.
Yeah,
like Nick at
yeah.
Night, and then like Degrassi would come back on.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I want the video to look like, because it's
Okay.
like very, kind of nostalgic and whatever. And then I conceptualized like in the beginning of the video, we're like in the woods with like all that furniture. I bought like all of it off of like Craigslist. Like I drove to this guy out east to buy the tube television, and then I like went to a Goodwill or something. No, I went to a Savers to buy the coffee table, and then the futon was already at my house, and so yeah, that's the whole video.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you were biking around.
Yeah. I mean, it all plays into the theme of like nostalgia and childhood and
It came out pretty good.
that kind of stuff.
Came out pretty
Appreciate
good.
it.
Especially
Thanks,
for
man.
the music that it was. If it was like rap, it would not look anywhere near like.
Yeah, it'd be slightly
Yeah,
disconnected,
but it's
but
very good for the choice.
So when you had all your furniture outside, was that like when you were a kid, you wanted to play like games outside or watch TV outside?
honestly, it was just an idea that I had,
Okay.
and we just went with it.
All right.
I'm
Sometimes those are the best ideas.
yeah, that are just like this is what you want it to look like and how you want it to feel, and then you just do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like tattoos when people are like, "What does it mean?" And you're like, "Oh, it's just a bald eagle holding a snake." Like, what do you want me to tell you? You know, it's just it looks dope.
I hate that question.
I had a buddy of mine. Well, we were on a trip together, and he had like a sailboat on his leg, and I was like, "Oh, where'd you get that one from?" Because I don't know. I think he had mentioned stuff about like sailing in like the past, but he said that you just went to a tattoo store and you give them $200, they give you a quarter, and you do a pinball machine thing or like whatever, the candy machine,
like a gumball
that comes
machine.
out. Yeah, exactly.
And it's
You
a
pulled
flash
out-
tattoo.
yeah.
and it just gives you.
It was really big though for $200. I was like, dang, that's cool.
$200, that's probably
But that's
good,
the
though.
risk, I guess. That's the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like you get a sick tattoo, but also it's just whatever the one. I know there's one that I saw online that it's like it's $200 to do that, and then you can pay again to re-roll. Like you could pay like I don't know what the pricing is, but it's like another $50 to re-roll
Yeah.
the tattoo or whatever.
If you
right?
don't want like a cat on your leg, you re-roll and you get like a skull or something.
That'd be cool though. I don't have any tattoos. You have any tattoos?
I do not.
You have
I
tattoos.
do. I plan to get more as well soon.
Got it.
He's got an interesting thing. He wants like different types of
I want
tattoos.
all the types.
Oh, like American Classic.
American
or, like,
Classic, yes.
Japanese
stick and poke. I have I have a tribal-ish symbol now, so that's out of the way.
I've thought about it. I don't know. Tattoos, they kind of scare me because it's like a permanent thing. And also, I feel like I'm not in the best shape for tattoos.
Dude, you know, in college I used to say like I have to get into a bar fight before I get a tattoo because like I need to be able to punch anybody in the face at any time if I have a tattoo.
I wanna
Which
get
is-
into a bar
just
fight.
not true, but that's what I thought.
I want to get into a bar. Let's go drinking this weekend. I want to get into a bar. We could bring Ray. You know, he could.
The after party of the comedy show on Friday, we'll just go drinking right after. 'Cause
It's
I'm gonna have to
isn't it
try and
at a
forget.
bar?
I have something Saturday morning though.
Fuck. All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
Well, you can go.
Will that something be delayed by
I'll
getting into a
sleep.
bar fight? I don't think so.
I don't want to get into.
I don't think so.
No. Fuck a bar fight.
I want to fight.
Get that out of your system somewhere else, man.
I'm not going to EU. I'm fighting some
not at-
random person at a bar.
Not at the bar, please.
Not at the bar. We have to do it at a bar somebody we know owns. It has to be at JoJo's bar or somebody else's.
No, that's just a bad look.
What number episode is this?
16.
You guys are on your way, huh?
I
Yeah,
guess.
I feel like
Mad respect to you guys because I feel like it's kind of the trope that everyone's like, we should start a podcast, and then like no one does it. So you guys are like, we should start a podcast, and then you actually did it. So
Oh, believe me, I wasn't really handpicked for this. I was forced. He like
that's not true.
you had me at gunpoint on a canoe in a lake. He's like, we're starting the first episode of the
well,
podcast.
I mean, you didn't actually have a pistol, so I'm sure there's a way out of it.
Yeah, you could have just swam away.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
getting my nice
But
clothes
that's
wet.
super dope though.
I think that the
And
canoe
we made that first art on Photoshop.
was so fire.
Yeah, that was something else.
Oh yeah, you made
Putting
that.
the plane in.
That was the group. Someone was like, "Yo, put a hammerhead shark upside down on it," or something.
I think that was Luke. Luke was like,
Yeah, Luke was. He was really.
he's
was-
digging it.
He was.
Does he listen? Do we know?
I don't know.
Luke, if you're listening, and we know that you are,
Luke, if you've made it this far,
thanks for listening, buddy.
Thanks. For
Probably
listening.
not.
We wanna start doing TikToks.
He wants
the
to.
podcast.
I heard on the last podcast.
Yeah,
actually, that
so
you talked about it.
I think like the concept, like we already explained it before, but have you ever done like TikToks? Can we get any insight from you?
Well, here's what you should do. Is like you just take because you guys are an audio only podcast, which is
Yeah.
fine. But you just take like if you're whatever story you're telling or something, whatever the highlights are, right? You cut those out, so anywhere from 15 seconds to 60 seconds. And then since you're an audio only podcast, you just put together stock footage of the things that you're referencing. So you go like anytime you say the word bar, just put the bar photo back in, and then you're just it's like. And then I saw this guy stock photo, and then just flip back and forth between those as the story goes on.
Okay.
And then just do that for like the seconds or whatever, and then post that on TikTok.
I do have.
And then just do that a million times.
I have a few issues with that. My child internment peanut butter and jelly sandwich story. We're gonna have trouble finding like child youth laborers images at least. I don't think China produces.
Just use like a clip art. Just use clip art.
I have a kid. Yeah, no, I think the clip art thing would be kind of funny.
Peanut butter, jelly. You know what I mean?
Like a fucking slideshow.
Yeah, no,
on TikTok.
literally.
Yeah.
So
we're thinking that, or like doing like short form 1 minute podcasts on the canoe, because I know that there are
That'd be
like
cool.
some podcasts out there. It's like minute long podcasts,
true.
but we don't want to like con that. We want to like do how we were doing.
No.
on the
1 minute.
No, there literally are. Like I've seen it on
Yeah.
Spotify. There's a
Hello,
1
my
minute
name
podcast.
is Zach. Hello, my name
And
is
there's
Matt.
also a podcast that I
Bye.
found inspiration from where I was like, oh, we should do the podcast on a canoe, where these guys, they just were doing podcasts with a table, they had a sign, and the two of them were doing it anywhere out in
outside
public.
or
Yeah, they're
whatever?
outside.
I know
So there
what
was
you're
like a
talking
GameStop podcast because GameStop was going crazy, and they literally sat outside
right.
of the GameStop.
That's
like
when the
a random
stock went
GameStop.
crazy, right?
Yeah, and they were just talking about GameStop,
That shit
GME.
is crazy. That guy who like backed it knew about it for like a long time.
What's up, dude? I haven't seen you since like high school.
So how do you feel about the podcast?
How do I feel about the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, this one? This
Yeah.
is way better than the last podcast. I like didn't publicize that one at all.
No. I mean your podcast in general.
mine in
Like how's the
general?
experience going? Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a lot about talking, filling in like time, elaborating
hard.
on things. I feel like sometimes I say too many words, can like shorten things down a little bit, but
Sure.
I like the long form kind of comedy. I don't think we're at the stage of where I want it to be, but you said
Sure.
something earlier before where you were like, you make things and you know that they're not what you want them to be, but as long as you keep working on it, like once I hit a certain number of hours of podcasting, I'll get better at it.
Dude, it's like the only way. The only way to do it is by doing it. So
Same thing with stand up. Like I want to try it. I've seen it.
100%.
I've seen it like my whole
100%.
life, and I've been like, I can do this, maybe.
yeah.
So I'm just
No,
gonna
that's-
fucking
it's
balls
so
to the
sick,
walls.
actually. That's super dope.
And the reason that I felt like I'd be able to do this is I've been watching this podcast, the Kill Tony podcast. I don't know if you've ever heard of Tony Hinchcliffe.
I have not.
I listen to a lot of comedians,
Sure.
and he does this one where he is stationed out of Texas now and has guests perform for 1 minute, and you basically get 1 minute to do stand-up comedy, and there's some horrific like minutes on that
Sure.
show, and there's some really good minutes, and I listen to the really good ones, and I'm like, how do they like pull
Yeah.
their stories from like their life, or like how do they make people laugh, like where are the taglines?
Of course.
And I'm trying to study that, and I think that the fact that it's only 1 minute long, I was like, I can do at least a minute. Like anybody
Sure.
can do a minute, but I have to do 7 minutes now. So this is going to be a real like acid,
it's a long time.
acid test, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have plenty of stage experience, so
I do. I have a lot of stage experience.
do you have any advice for me when I'm on stage and I'm making a fool of myself?
No, I do have advice, but let me think of what it should be. Give me a sec, because I'm really trying to think of something
Yeah.
of advice that would be useful.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure you've had it up to full with, just be yourself, don't be nervous.
Yeah.
Just imagine everyone's in their underwear.
I actually, in high school, I was in mock trial, and I tried to play the part of the person on the stand, and it's so hard, like, to be someone else. So
Sure.
I could never like act or lie or not say something that's like about myself. So that's why all of my material is sort of like I've always had a knack of telling a story but putting in like little white lies to make it a little bit funnier. So
Sure.
that's my take of like stand-up comedy.
Sure.
And so that was like my initial thing. And then also I went to architecture school. You have these like presentations where you're up there and your project's right next to you, and you have to explain why this stick, like popsicle stick sculpture, is like worth people, paying millions of dollars to build in the middle of downtown Buffalo. So I have a lot of experience in front of people, never with like a microphone when like all the lights are on me and I'm like the center of attention. It's normally like there's
course.
multiple centers of attention and
Sure.
people are coming in and out. So it's going to be a completely new experience, but I'm excited for it.
I know. It's so sick.
And I feel like I've been getting a lot of like, are you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, I know I'm not prepared, which is a bad way to like go into it, but I'm never going to be prepared. Like if I'm working on 7 minutes to perform at this one place for like more than the 1 month I was allotted, because I already knew I wanted to do it. I was going to do it spur of the moment, like with 1 week's notice. I was like, fuck it, I'll just fucking do it. And now I have a month's worth of material that I've been like writing up, and I don't know. I'm just going to kind of take my points and freeball it.
Doing is like the hardest part of literally anything. Like just doing it, like just look at like everybody you've known or have ever known. Like doing anything at all is literally like the coolest fucking thing ever. Like there's nobody I won't support like doing something. Like trying is cool as fuck. Like trying something, like putting yourself out there is actually so dope and like so hard.
I wish I could go back in time and tell myself to just like try more things, because I feel like I've never been that kind of person. But so now is when I'm like trying to make up for all that lost time where I wasn't trying different shit. I want to try like
the fact that you're gonna get in a car and like drive to a venue and like get out and get on stage is like already like the dopest thing you could do. So like it's
kind of badass. Like
and then even if you bomb for 7 minutes straight, like now you have the story of the time you did stand-up comedy for the first time and you bomb for 7 minutes in front. Like that's a unique experience.
Yeah, nobody I know has done that.
Like this is a win. This is a win-win.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, then your next stand-up routine is just about you bombing at stand-up. You know, I think that the one piece of advice I would give is just like you'll lose track of time. I'd say more often than not, you probably have more time than you think you do.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that's the thing I'm going to struggle with. It's going to feel a lot longer than it actually is.
That's what I was
just let your jokes land too. Like
let them breathe. I've heard a lot of like let them breathe, where you give a lot of time in between the jokes.
Don't be afraid of silence. You know.
Yeah. Even if nobody laughs, it's like totally fine. Because silence is engaged too. If people are talking to each other, you've lost them.
Yeah.
Then it's a giant L.
Yeah.
But as long as people aren't talking over you, you still have people's attention.
I'm gonna heckle you. I'm
Do not. If any of my buddies heckle me, I'm gonna.
There's also like a ton of people rooting for you too. So people are just gonna be happy. Well, I don't know what people you associate with. But I'll be very happy just to see you.
I'll be
like,
heckling.
up there.
I'm hoping I have like at least like 10 people in my corner there. So
of course, man. So that'll be super sick.
I'm excited.
I'm seeing. I will follow the crowd. If they start booing, I will.
We'll sneak out the back and we'll kind of just meet you at the Denny's down the street.
If it's overwhelming, I'm gonna join the crowd. You know, I have to get out of the bar. You know, I have to escape.
All right.
That's funny, man.
I respect it though, man. Just don't be a wolf, be a sheep. Just follow everybody.
I have to get out. I'm supporting though. Yeah.
It's a little bit stressful, like the build up, but I feel like once it's over with, it's gonna be like a huge relief.
That just means like it's something that you care about and you're excited about. Like being nervous is like it's not a bad thing.
If I was like that, I don't give a fuck kind of thing, I feel like it wouldn't be.
Well, no
it
one
wouldn't be
would
as
like
fun.
you if you got up there and you were just like, I don't care.
Well, you have to prepare stuff. You know, you can't go out to be like, I woke up this morning, I'm here to make jokes. Hey woo. You know, people said I should be a comedian when I used to volunteer.
Really?
They were wrong, yeah.
Wrong?
Back then, I couldn't speak in front of people at all.
You're speaking in front of me?
I know, but now that's fine. But back then, I'd be like, that's crazy.
Yeah, stand-up comedy is a hard form of entertainment.
You have to dumb down ideas for like, sorry, but the general populace is stupid. You have to dumb down like things that you find funny and then find it so that it works with multiple groups of people with different viewpoints, opinions.
Got to make it relatable.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even like understand it. Like
Really?
I know what I laugh at, but I don't know. It's very complicated.
See, he's a step.
Yeah.
I still don't even know what I find funny. Sometimes it just is.
Like John Mulaney, like people like that are brilliant, man. Like they make 2 hours feel like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And callback stuff too when they talk about like, dude, that
a good callback can really kill.
a good callback is an uppercut, man. So that's I've tried my hand at writing some stand-up before, but never with
performing
enough success to, that I felt impassioned to kind of. That's hard. Also very terrifying.
I mean,
yeah, I'm scared.
You're not on the hour-long time where you have to fill that whole hour with like a special or anything.
Yeah.
But it is still your first time, so
There's
Good
gonna
or
be-
bad,
I'm
it's
gonna
your
make
first
mistakes.
time.
Yeah.
Good or bad, yeah.
Of course. I mean, I'm trying to be encouraging, but also that sounds fucking horrifying.
it is gonna be. It's gonna be scary.
Sounds so scary.
Well, guess what?
But it's gonna be sick.
It'd be terrible no matter what date you chose.
I
so.
wanted to go and visit the venue first to like get a feel for the space, and I never got into the. So it's gonna be the first time.
Probably
ever.
better anyway.
You think so?
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just step in and get
Put
up
my
there.
dick on the table.
Do learn the shape of the
don't-
stage, though. Don't do that. Unless it's our table. Then you can.
Sure.
But don't learn the shape of the stage, too. Don't want to walk off, It's kind of a big one. Alright, where we at?
I think we're about like an hour and like 15 minutes.
Alright, guys, we're gonna call it quits here. Thanks so much for
sure
being
thing.
our first and best guest, John.
Thank you. So I suppose that is true.
Yes.
You're on the podium. You're the only one.
At least for the next 3 guests, I'll be on the podium.
Yep.
If 4 people come and blow me out of the water, then I'll have to accept it. But
Next week we got Ariana Grande, so it's gonna be tough for you to.
that'll be hard to beat. But I do appreciate the opportunity to have you guys on and listen to me talk about myself for a while.
Yeah, it was
of
course.
awesome to interview you.
I can't wait to put it on my Instagram.
Alright, so I guess as usual, like, subscribe, comment, and also now check out Sawyer. You want to plug yourself, my man?
Yeah, for sure. My single Chiara is out everywhere, all streaming, and of course the music video is on YouTube. It's Sawyer09, all capital letters, and you can find me on Instagram at Sawyer09_.
Thanks for coming, John. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Excellent.
That most
night.
genuinely American of all watercraft, the canoe.